Fidget nerd.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Fidget Nerd channel. I am Zachary Butcher, and today we are going to be talking about the brand new Rapt V3. V3 is out from Modusworks. Jonas Nix is the maker. I have got one here to play with, and we're going to break it down, and we're going to see just what it's all about and what we got here. Butch! Hey Ross, how you doing? Ross. Detroit Pyro, how you doing? What up, doll? Steve Klein's here. Oh, hey, Steve. Steve Klein. You're the one that's got the bronze one, eh? You're the one that kind of has that guy. Pam's here. Good. Perfect. Oh, God, what a week. What a week I had. Rainy week at work. Then on Thursday, I smashed my finger in a van door, in a sliding van door. Sup, Pippin? Don't recommend doing that. It's not fun. So excuse the ugly Band-Aid, but trust me, it is a lot less ugly than the 4 stitches that are in my finger there. Yeah, it's not fun. It's not fun, but it got me the day off work, paid. So that was great. It was like kind of a WCB claim because it was like the van door at work. So it was the van. Yeah. So that worked out for me. But yeah, oh God, just before I got on, I was getting all flustered. There's some guy, the last sus, it was for, some MVIs, some titanium and orange, my G10 inlay ones and some other ones and stuff like that. And, this morning I see this guy and he's selling his titanium, orange G10 MVI. I'm like, fuck. That was one I really wanted. My bunny even named it the sushi wrap because she thought it looked like sashimi, a little piece of fish on top of something. I thought that was really clever. And I don't know, he's just selling it. And it's like, he's saying no trades. And it's like fucking $2,500, like $2,500 for a G10 inlay one. Like, come on. Anyway, I got a little bit, I'm shaking it off now. I'm shaking it off, but I just got a little bit flustered. Maybe it's just, to me, it's just like the community is, it's a community and it's not some place to make money. And you might say, hey, Zach, haven't you made money before off of Modusworks stuff? Fucking absolutely I have. I absolutely have. But you know where the money goes? It goes right back into my PayPal. My Fidget Nerd PayPal that I only use for fidget shit. And then I buy more fidgets and, gear, whatever and stuff for the channel, for the content. That's how I deal with the profits from that. It's totally separate from my bank account. I've talked about that before. And I got kind of flustered. I got a little bit, I was holding back some words. I was holding back some words and trying to, keep a little bit, composure and stuff like that. But, it might have been partly because I won a sus, right? I won a sus to win the bronze ones. When he did the bronze V3s, the first V3s that he made them in all bronze SSS, right? I entered that sus. I won, okay? I won. And then I told Jonas, I said, hey, Jonas, it's great that I won, but I actually have already promised Abigail Bay. She's here all the time. She's not here right now, unfortunately. She had to go to dinner or something like that. But Abby Bay, she's here all the time in the stream, and she texts me. She texts me all the time. We always talk, solve problems for her and stuff like that. And she's been really, really, really wanting a V2 or just a V2 Rapt of any kind, right? And I told her, I said, okay, this sus, we'll both enter it. And I said, I promise that if I win it and you don't, I will let you buy it off me for retail. So I did. So I told Jonas this and he said, oh, okay, well, I still have to send it to you. Rules are rules. I got to send it to you. I can't just send it off to Abby. Fair enough. And then he said, okay, well, if you're doing that, that's great that you're doing that, but I want to still send along some other things for you to review. So he sent along another bronze one and some V3 plates and stuff like that, and the screws and the new inserts, so I can go over all of this with everyone and, you know, let us all know what we're doing here, okay? So maybe that's partly what I'm just pissed off about. It's just like, you know, I could have flipped it. I could have flipped this freaking thing for what? Apparently, yeah, Arnie Horta 6 times. Yeah, I could do it 6 times. Great. It'd be great. Cool. But no. Anyway, so just sorry. Just had to get that off my to get that on my chest there a little bit. Yeah. Okay. Well, hi everyone. Hi. Janet's here. Great. Scarfo's here. Perfect. I love it. So we're going to go over this and we're going to talk about all the differences, because there actually is a lot. There's a lot of little things to learn about it, because there's a lot of backwards compatibility to the V2 to the V3. Jonas has been really good this time about making it probably the most backwards compatible that anything's ever been. When we went from V1 to V2, the plates were very much like not compatible with the V2 stuff. You kind of had to get all new stuff. It's different now, okay? It's different now, and there's a lot of things that you can use from V2 in V3, and there's some little improvements and stuff like that as well. But I'm not going to get into it too much right now, because I want to kind of break down part of the video that Jonas had up on YouTube. So he has this video up on YouTube. I put the link in the description, and I just want to watch a little bit of it and kind of go over what he's talking about. And, you know, we'll do this first for a little bit.
Hey everybody. Just wanted to get on here and explain to everyone what I've been working on the last few months, really. It's a new plate system that from the outside it looks basically the same, but the goal of this system is to improve user experience, make it a little bit easier for everyone to change out their magnet setups, and it's going to, I think it really improves the overall quality of the product. So yeah, it's a pretty big change in the Rapt. Like I said, not huge from an exterior standpoint, but it does make some really great improvements otherwise. So we'll hop over to the bench and I'll show you what I'm talking about.
So what he's saying with like the plate thing, something to remember about the plates is that, to me, the V1, V2, V3, it's the plates, the tops, like the bodies that go on top. We should remember that all those bodies, I can take a V1 body and put it on a V3 plate or a V2 plate or a V1 plate. Any body works on any plate. So to me, really, where V1, V2, V3 comes from, it's the plate. That's the core of the Rapt, right? It's its plate system. That's what Jonas is legendary for and known for is the plates, okay? So that's what it means to me. When he says V1, V2, V3, it's the plates, okay? So that's where the biggest improvement is coming from. It's always with the plates and the new insert design that goes along with that.
Hey, here we are at the bench. So new parts. This is the same setups that you know and love. Different inserts, different plates. What else is different?
Dampeners.
Everything else is the same, and that's the cool thing about it. That's what I really am feeling really great about, is that everything else is the same. You do have a new optional screw, which actually will be crop required in some instances, and we'll get to that.
I'll get into way more about that.
But for the most part, it's a new plate. This is the new plate. As I mentioned, it's outwardly, it doesn't look any different. The one aesthetic difference between the V2 and this is going to be called the V3 is there's a counter bore around the screw, and on the V3 there is no counter bore. It's just a sunken countersunk area that will hold the screw, and the screw does sit below the surface, the sliding surface of the plate.
That's not a very important
Whereas in the
detail.
counterbore,
Don't worry about it.
It was sunken just a little bit deeper. Had to make some concessions to get that screw to align differently, and move the screw up in the assembled condition. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So, new plate. These are the new inserts. Some bodies here. Move those out of the way. Here's the new inserts. They are a single piece insert design that are basically identical to the Rapt Lite inserts.
So this is the first part where he has taken, there's different things where Jonas has, because there were things that were better about the Rapt Lite. Okay. They were the insert design and the dampener design. So he's taken what he's learned from the Rapt Lite and realized that that worked better. And we're now integrating it directly into the V3, which is fucking amazing.
The magnet spacing is the same, or very, very close to the same. But the big change is that it is a single piece insert. Also the fitment of the insert, there is very, very little movement of the insert. Depending on which way you flip it, there's hardly any movement. Flip that way. And that has to do with the kerf. There's a little bit of a draft angle. So one way it'll fit a little tighter than the other. Yeah, there's the hybrid insert. This is the 2x3 medium insert. We've got, this is our hybrid. Here's a 2x4 medium insert. We've got a 2x4 strong insert. So all the insert magnet layouts that you're used to. But the big change, the big thing that's different with these plates versus previous plates, this is just a meat hammer body that I had laying around. If you assemble the slider.
Yeah, this is big and important.
If you'll notice, there's a bit of a gap between where the plate sits against the internal post of the body. There's a gap in between there. And the function of that is to allow the screw pressure to suck the plate in until it contacts the body. And so it's actually improving the amount of clearance in the center of the slider. And the most important function of this...
Sorry, Sid, to answer your question, yes, Jonas is going to be, I heard recently he's going to start trying to provide upgrade kits. He did this for for going from the V1 to the V2, and he's also going to be trying to do it going from V2 to V3. So I'll go over a little bit more about that, but yes, essentially, yes, he's going to try to be providing kits where you get all the new, like a new insert set, new set of plates, the new screws, all those things you need to kind of upgrade your V2 body, if you will.
Is compression. So it takes a few revolutions for it to seat down fully. Like I said, the main function of this is to offer compression. So you can see that the middle of the plate is going to be sunken down an additional 10 thousandths.
So the plate is still 3D, CNC'd and modeled that way, right? And it does still have that curve, and we're only having, the corners touch, all the stuff that you know about the Rapt. But what he just said there, it goes down an extra thousandths, right? So it's that extra little bit of compression that it's pulling it down even further, right? And it's just helping everything hold together better. All the magnets and the foam dampeners and all this stuff, it's just helping everything. Steve Matties have to start buying stuff. I really start investing, getting it. Yeah.
Which is, it's a pretty good bit in machining terms. An additional 10 thousandths of depth in the center versus what you're used to. Also, the other big thing about this is that it will very uniformly compress the foam material or whatever dampener material you would like to use. It'll uniformly compress that material. There have been complaints about some clickiness no matter what you do. Some people use tape on their magnets.
No more tape. I haven't had to use tape with the V3. He's right. It's crazy. I don't have to tape anything anymore. I'm going to break all. We'll put together V3s and stuff. We'll show you later. But holy, It's so good.
To keep it from clicking. But yeah, clickiness in general from the Rapt product, going on for a while now, and people, you know, usually compensate either using blue tack or using tape or whatever they have laying around. With this configuration, you can literally use whatever you want to dampen your magnet movement. But I've designed these foam dampers.
I used to use wall putty too, but it actually, that was my first thing, was wall putty. Put it in there, a little bit of that, and it's just so messy to clean up afterwards. Really, I came down to like just using orange painter's tape. It's like the least sticky painter's tape, and you put a strip of that on top of each of your inserts with the magnets right over top of it, and just like cut off the edges, and that fixed it perfectly. Foam dampers on top, and that's what I had been using for years with the V2. No longer.
That actually fit snugly against the interior post.
Yeah, look at this.
Of the Rapt.
Right from the Rapt light, and now he's adapted it for the V2 and the V3.
And they are aligned. You can line them up. You get them, I mean, kind of close. And now you don't have to fiddle with settling your dampers on top of your inserts when you go to assemble it. Just simply put it in there, align it, throw it on top, you're good to go. So there's the 2x3 version. I've got a 2x4 version. Like I said, they fit this post snugly so that you can clock it, orient it, push it down, straighten it out. And then as you can see, the little wear patterns from where the magnets have been, it hits those magnet centers perfectly. So yeah, let's put one together right quick with a V3. There's going to be no increase in cost associated with this, with the plastic inserts. I would expect a certain percentage of increase when I do inserts, but we'll see. We'll see. I have not priced any out yet, but the main thing is the acrylic inserts. There is no additional cost associated with that. Let's do a hybrid setup. That's the most popular setup. I mentioned there's a draft angle when these are laser cut, so one side is going to be a little wider than the other. I believe that this is the wider side. So as you can see, no magnet wiggle or insert wiggle whatsoever. Whoa, I threw it. No insert wiggle. All right, let's put this one down, wide side down, no insert wiggle. Let's compare.
Arnie, he doesn't 3D print because Jonas absolutely hates 3D printing. He despises it. He thinks he just doesn't like it. Okay. So he's not going to ever make 3D printed stuff again, but maybe Jesse would, right? Jonas has always been very open about being like, you know what? Make more inserts. I think that'd be fantastic if he wanted to do something like that. I don't know if it would work because of the spacing for the body. It would almost have to be a thicker insert that then like hit the very top of the inside of the body, because he machines it and he's designed it with that space for the foam dampener up there. And he's literally designed it with the space considering the compression. So it's like the space there minus the compression amount. And that's like, so it's that those tolerances are there, right? So I don't know. I think Jesse might be able to figure something out like that. Having a TPU insert, why not? Right? That could be fun to play with. That would be pretty cool. I'd fuck with that.
Let's grab another V3 plate here. And let's grab a V2 insert. Let's see, I have some hybrids right here. So the V3 insert, plate, you can still use a V2 insert set with the V3. As you can see, there's a bit more wiggle, which you're used to that with a V2 anyhow. But you can see how the magnets would easily migrate from their positions using these inserts. With the one-piece insert and the little diamond in the middle, everything clocks and fixes itself well. There's a V2 plate with the V2 inserts. As you can see, wiggle still. Let's flip it over to the wider side. Still wiggle. Right? Versus V3.
Hey, Samuel.
Maybe a few thousandths of wiggle there. So greatly improved in that way. All right, let's load it up with some magnets. This is the way that I assemble every single Rapt slider when it's new. And go ahead and do one whole side. After I'm done with that side, I take my magnet stack and just flip it over. That way I know that the magnetic fields are opposing one another. It does help to have a couple extra magnets to be able to move that last magnet over into its position.
Jesus Christ, Ali.
Slide off the top there. All right, let's see. I have this set of bronze bodies here. I had completed these just a few minutes ago. That's actually the sign-up sale item for today. I'll have 10 of these this weekend. Let's see, that's the 2x3. Let's do the 2x4. 2x4 damper. Roughly aligned. And just take that, throw it on top. Another 2x4 damper.
So much easier.
Aligned roughly. There we go. And throw it on top. Grab a couple screws. Misaligned it. There we go. Had to push it together a little bit. Nice and tight. You can feel when these get tight also. There's a little bit better feel when you're assembling it with these. And again, the overall, like the resulting, the results of this change is increased quality. No magnet rattle that way. Still the same product you know and love.
But better.
Just a incremental change, which is actually a fairly big change, but an incremental change that is aimed at saving you time, not costing you any more money, and overall improving the quality of the product. So let's see, you can see the gap there. You can see that the middle of the plate is uniformly sunken. There's also the issue where V2 plates would go out of tune, meaning that they would develop a crown to where the ends did not go up into the slider uniformly.
Yeah, so I put a video out way back in the day on Facebook about how you could, bend them back and stuff, and kind of you bend them back to give them that tension to then have the screw pull them in and like suck everything together and stuff like that. So that's kind of what he's talking about, is that he would always take V2 plates off of the CNC, and he would literally bend them. He would bend them like that already and give them a little bend before he installed them. So there was a bit of like this, banana shape to them, just a little bit. So that's what he's talking about here. And that's what my video on Facebook was before, about like how you can like retune them. And he's just trying to emphasize here that you don't really need to do that anymore.
And then the fix for that was to bend the plate, right? So you bend the plate slightly, make it banana shaped. And then whenever you put the screw in and tighten it down, it sucks everything back down flat. Well, with this, you don't have to tune anything, because when you tighten the screw, it is self-tuning and applying the same force all the way around the perimeter. So everything is nice and flush. So yeah, V3 is the big improvement. I'll tell you what, let's go over to the computer, and I'll show you some of my CAD design that has gone into this. Oh, here's I think I set this one up with V3. You can hear the swish, but absolutely zero magnet rattle, right? Here's another hybrid I had set up earlier. Again, you can hear the swish, but there's absolutely no rattle. No magnet rattle whatsoever.
Nothing.
That's the big thing with these. So if that was your hang up before, I think I've effectively eliminated that. All right, let's jump over to the computer for a minute, and I'll show you the CAD so it'll kind of make sense. We can do some section analysis views, and you can see what makes this happen, okay?
Cedric, right? Okay, now I know who you are. Yeah, I remember that. I didn't know the Ced was Cedric. That's awesome. Hey, what was it? Hey, Pranav. Is it Pranav? I just kind of want to call you Kumar. That sounds better. Yeah. Hello, Brian. And the swishy, yes, tribe. That's something that is so good. I will talk about that in a little bit. We will watch a bit of this, I think.
All right, here we are at the computer. I've got a V3 plate here laid out next to a V2 plate.
Yeah, so we're not going to watch all of this because it gets, like, the link's there. If you want to go watch all of this, it's good, but it gets like, it's very nerdy. Bless Jonas's soul. It gets extremely nerdy. It's amazing that he's showing us like actual CAD stuff. And I'm going to break it down a little bit simpler in just like what you need to know from it, right? Because I talked to him about it and was kind of like, okay, I watched the video and like, is this a Sparks note of what you're saying sort of thing? So we'll go over that now kind of thing. So, yeah. Where to start? I think I want to encourage questions as we go along and stuff like that. So if you guys have questions, ask them. I'll try to answer them as we go along. But yeah, that swish sounds sort of like this when you first get it. So he sent me a V3, but he also sent some other plates because he wanted me to play with them on like some V2 bodies. So purposefully, I have not been playing with these plates very much just because I wanted you guys to be able to hear that delicious swish. And if this is something that you don't like I have had people say, oh, I can't handle the sound of plates like sliding against each other and stuff, then you might hate the Rapt in general, right? But I personally, I love it. I love it. So listen, I gotta use my left hand. I gotta remember. So hard with my left hand. I will struggle through this. Yeah, I love it. I think it's so good. I have another set here. We're gonna assemble. We'll assemble one with my titanium body V2, and it's such a sweet swish. Love it. Music to my ears, man. Perfect. Okay, yeah, it is a little bit different, right? I haven't had the pleasure of hearing a fresh sweet swish from fresh plates for a long time because most of my Rapts are, very used. They always still make a bit of a swish, but I've said it before that I kind of believe that first crisp, sweet swish, it really only lasts, I almost want to say like the first day of constant play or something, and you don't even really notice it go away. But now I've been able to notice it go away because I've been playing with this one all week. I think I got it on the mail on Tuesday or Wednesday or something like that. So all week I've just been trying to play with it and just really give it some work. It's got a nice patina on it already. It's not shiny like the ones in Jonas's video and stuff, but I'm really, really liking it. And now I can tell the swish difference. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I mean, listen to this one. A little more. Right? It's a little different. So, do V feels 3? Yeah. Well, what he said before was he was talking about how the plates now are ever so slightly thinner, ever so slightly thinner. I'm going to say that I can feel just like a slight kind of increase in haptics. Like this came, of course, shipped with the hybrid, and I have seen no reason to switch it. I love it. It's so crisp and clean, and everything is so perfect with it. It's like I said before, he's taken, he took all the problems that were happening with the V2. One of those problems was that we're looking at, we had inserts that weren't connected. Okay. So if they weren't connected, you have them in the, you have them in a V2 plate. If I can actually pry it off my little thing here. So you'd have them in a V2 plate, and then you're dealing with, let me go down further here. You're dealing with it moving like this, right? So if you've been playing with a Rapt a lot, you kind of know that you had to always push it into the center. You had to make sure that your inserts were right there in the center and that all your magnet things were lined up. And then you had to go and you had to, get your dampeners and like lay them on there really carefully. And then they'll get your body and just like gently get it on and make sure you didn't move any of your inserts, because otherwise you could have something happen where if you hadn't lined everything up, you would notice that sometimes your Rapt would sit like that when it's in just a standing kind of position, right? And you go, what the heck is wrong? And you open it up and you find out that one side, like some of the inserts were a little bit crooked or something like that, and you'd have to align it all. That doesn't have to happen anymore, because now we're dealing with, like you saw in the video, it's all one piece, just like the Rapt Lite. There's no problem with that happening anymore. And like he was saying, the tolerances are tighter in that plate. So that's been fixed. And then also these new beautiful, beautiful foam dampeners, right? The fact that it was such a simple fix, right? Just, laser that thing out just a little bit differently from the Rapt Lite. So the Rapt Lite, it has its holes on the side because the dampeners for the Rapt Lite, they hold on to its little alignment posts, right, in the body. But this, easy, right? Just sits on the fucking little thing right there, right? And he's right. You can just move it and, align it how you want it. Super easy to get it where you need it. And then when you're turning it over, it's not going to fall out. Like I can just go and I can just put it right back on top and we're good. So that's another big fix with that, right? So that's two of the biggest things that I have noticed that have been transferred right over from the Lite. And I'm so happy about that. So happy about that. Hola, Victor. How you doing? Hello, Jeremy. Good stuff. So what I want to do is I just want to put together, well, actually what we should do is probably talk about the screw. We should talk about the screw. There is a new screw. So what's going on there? I'm going to need to open up. So you'll notice that on my V3, it has the torque screw. Okay. So I was playing with the screw thing, and I had to talk to Jonas, and I had to be like, okay, what's going on with this? Because I thought you said in your video that, well, he told me before, he said, you're going to have to use the new Phillips head screw with, if you're putting a V3 plate onto a V2 body. But I, being me, went and messed around and, tried putting a torque screw into it instead. New lasering in there. It's kind of cool. It's got a little thing here. Little thing to note. Any body that is a V3 will have a little asterisk right there. That's how you know it'll be a V3. So the main screw difference is seen here. So he was saying, oh yeah, you have to use the new screw if you're using a V2 body with the V3 plate. But you'll see here, can you see how there's not as big of a chamfer there? And then there, you've got a bigger chamfer around that hole. You see that difference? That's kind of the main difference that we're talking about here, okay? And the reason for that is that this screw, sorry, I thought I heard Bunny like getting ready to throw something at me. Scared now. Okay, so this screw, this is the new screw, okay? I'm gonna try to show this as best I can. So this is a Phillips head screw, unfortunately. We've got Phillips head here, and then you see how it's got a very kind of undercut, it's called an undercut screw, right? So it doesn't have a lot of like V pointing down there. And the difference, I'll show you the difference here. You see that? See how our original screw right here has much more of like this kind of chamfered angle going down than that. So this screw worked fine, worked good. But it wasn't allowing for enough compression, okay? Because this has less underneath it, right? So it can suck down further down into the body, especially if you have an extra bit of chamfer here to pull that down in there even more, okay? So originally what I thought when he was saying, okay, you have to use that new screw with a V2 body. So what I kind of thought was what he was meaning by that is that, oh, look, this one doesn't have as much of a chamfer going around there. So you're going to need the extra bit of room that this screw provides underneath the head there to be able to suck the plate down as far as you can, because this plate, V3 plate, has that extra room in that chamfer. I hope I'm making sense. Okay. So that's how I was understanding it. And what I've now learned from Jonas is that, oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. Sorry for the interruption.
No, he's not.
Are you all right?
Yeah, I won. I'm good.
Okay.
There's 3 of them.
Yes, I see. I have fruit to go. Excellent. Fruit to go. Perfect. Thanks, hon.
You missed one.
Okay. I'll get it later when I'm hungry.
You should be glad I didn't throw pizza.
So you were sneaking up on me.
Well, yeah, but I had to wait until you got distracted.
Yes, you did. Yeah.
Very nice, so I wait till you put the screws down.
You had to wait till my ADHD kicked in.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Perfect.
But I also wait till you put the screws down, so you're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for waiting for the screws to be put down.
I am a benevolent dictator, if nothing else.
Benevolent dictator. Perfect. Great break for questions. Christopher, I'm disappointed with the one-piece insert. Interesting. Without magnets being near the corners, which you can do by reversing the V2. Oh, okay, that's true. Yeah, you could do that. You can't do high-level tricks with breakthrough slider. Okay, well, actually, that's a good point. Sorry, Christopher. And Jonas said he's not producing the V2 inserts anymore. Lost functionality. Okay. Evil laugh. So the way, how can I describe this? Where do I have? Oh, I actually have one. Okay. So what I hate about when you do that. So if people aren't understanding what Christopher's talking about there, he's talking about how you could, let me get one here. So you could take a V2 and you could go like this, right? But you notice how it's still got these little things here? You could then go and you could flip it around and you could have your magnets be more oriented outwards, okay? So what that did is that kind of gave you, this slider has like a similar sort of layout. If a V2 would sit more like this. No,
This is the snack everyone needs to try. Is the cookie butter with the mini cookies.
It's true, yeah. Biscoff cookie butter.
I didn't throw this at him.
No, you didn't.
That would not be nice.
Don't buy cookie butter, anyone.
Everybody.
It's more addictive than Nutella. Don't do it.
This combo.
Yeah.
for everyone.
Well, cookie butter is good on anything. It's just butter and sugar and broken up cookies.
Is it good on artichokes?
No, you know what I mean. It's good on anything like a.
Is it good on wood chips?
No.
Is it good on cornbread?
No.
It might be. It might be good on cornbread. You don't know that.
It would not be good on cornbread.
It's surprising hearing that from you, considering you're the person that will try just about any combination, regardless of how absolutely unhinged.
Yeah, well, I got to be pretty unhinged at the time.
So you mean any day that ends in Y? Those ones?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, TLDR, Nerd Herd, the mini Chips Ahoy cookies, dipped in that sweet biscotti nectar. 10 out of 10. Y'all should try it.
I prefer it on oatmeal cookies.
The dad's ones, yeah.
Very true. Speculoos. Yes, those are the better ones. My stepdad is Dutch.
Speculoos. Ooh. That's the real shit. That's the gangster shit. Speculoos. Yep. All right, guys. Before I go back, let me know if you would have any interest in watching Fidget Nerd and Mrs. Fidget Nerd go head to head, go tete-a-tete in a competition, a race of wits and time, playing Infinite Craft to see who can get the fidget words the fastest.
Infinite Craft, the word game where you combine words.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I'm thinking of setting up an Infinite Craft like bingo or tic-tac-toe, where Mr. Nerd and I go head to head, and members of the Nerd Herd, y'all can submit different words or phrases for us to try and craft to get 3 in a row.
Okay.
For a tick, a tack, and a toe. He may know more of the fidget-related words, but I am the master of the crafter.
Yeah, I don't think I would win that one at all. It would just be fun for everyone to watch me lose.
Well, so the things on days that end in Y?
Okay. Yeah, I'll ask them later.
Yes. I'm just watching now.
Okay. Okay.
My leg
Cool.
fell asleep. I'll leave soon when my legs want to sleep.
Infinite Craft. Nerd Herd. All right. So, what was I talking about?
Fruit to go.
No, I was getting a drink and then I'm talking about this stuff.
Guys, he's such a drunk. Don't encourage him. Just drink it all the time.
Oh God.
That's not water. It's vodka.
Yeah, it's just vodka.
That's what it is. Just good straight
It's
face.
just vodka.
Okay, my leg's awake. I can walk now. Bye.
Okay, bye, baby. All right, what was I talking about? What was I talking about? Who knows? Who knows what I was goddamn talking about? Right. Okay, so, Christopher. Yes, patience tested, Christopher. Here we are. So, Christopher's talking about this kind of thing, right? So that he wanted to do this. And yes, it is very good for tricks, okay? Because it puts your slider way far out here, right? So you hardly have any holding on there. So it's a lot easier for you to kind of flip things and do a lot of like stuff like that and things that I don't personally do, but some people are into that kind of stuff, right? That's fine. So I guess that is something. That is something that, you know, isn't going to work technically with this because you can't split that up, right? Can't split that up. That's been done. But I think it was just a choice. It was more important to him to just have everything aligned. And speaking of alignment, so what this is right here, the alignment of this, and this is why I don't really like doing this on sliders. I used to keep some sliders like this. I used to keep some of my wraps like this, and I thought that was cool and fun. But it started to annoy me when I realized that this is not equidistant spacing of the magnets, okay? So equidistant spacing means that all of your vertical spacing of your magnets is precisely equal to all of the horizontal spacing, okay? So I am kind of picky about sliders in that way because this one is not equidistant, okay? It's a great little slider, but it's not equidistant. So I really like to do moves like this, where you can go like this. But this one is wobbly as fuck because it doesn't match up this way, right? If we can see that spacing, see how this one is way off from that? So it's not going to match up. And if you want to do moves like this, you end up with it being all wobbly all over the place, okay? So this orientation is also not equidistant in this way. It throws it off. It keeps the spacing the same way this way, but it makes it too big that way. So you can't really do stuff like this, right? Because I really do enjoy just having my slider like that and doing that and having it go to side. And I know there's some other guys out there like Pluke Jones who runs the Compiform Facebook group. He fucking hates that. Like him and I are like united on that one. Like he'll get a slider and he'll find out it doesn't have equidistant spacing and he's like, selling it. I'm done. It's over. I can't do it. Right? He's really OCD that way. So that's why I didn't think of that. But thank you, Christopher, for bringing that up because that is very, very true. That is something that won't be really moving forward into the V3 plates is the option to make your magnets non-equidistant. So, yeah. Anyway, what should we talk about now? We should probably talk about the screw a little bit more. Okay, so what I have learned now. Hey, Barrett, how you doing? I haven't seen you in a while, man. Good to see you, man. Matthews, maybe now the V2 instruments will start selling at $6. Oh, Jesus Christ. Don't, oh, God. Oh, God. Unless he decides to make a set that do work that way. I don't really know. Well, wait a minute. Can we just use... Yeah, never mind. I'm talking about all this shit. There you go, man. They work. Just use V2 inserts. It works fine. I said all that shit. I hadn't even tried it yet. There's so many things to try. So there we go. There's a new thing to try. They work fine. Just use your V2s. Okay? Then you can do it. So you can have fresh, crisp V2 plates and then there you go. Okay? We got that little indent there. He left that little indent there, right? To work with that. So you're all good to go, man. You just got to keep using V2 inserts. And yes, okay, yeah, he said he's not going to make any more, but he also mentions in that video that if there is a public outcry where we absolutely must have more V2 inserts, then we'll make it happen or something. Or you know what, Christopher, if you want me to sell you some V2 inserts, I've got some, right? I'm probably not going to really need them too much anymore anyway, because it's not my thing. So there will be a lot floating around on the market. You're going to be able to get some. They're around. And hey, they're available in all of the materials, right? Like you've got the aluminum and you've got brass, right? So better for someone that wants to do tricks and stuff. You can play with your weight more. We don't yet have aluminum and brass for these, but I very much foresee in the future we'll be getting them made, probably, very much. So, oh, hey, we were talking about you, Jesse. Otter EDC's here. This is Jesse. This is the guy that makes the cool. Oh, you made this actually. He made this. Gave this to me. This is his 3D printed slider. It's really, I've been enjoying it. It's really fun. And then he makes the inserts for the Rapt light, right? The TPU ones we were talking about. We were talking about, Jesse, how you should make TPU ones for the V3, like ones like this that go in there so people don't have to use dampeners. But you'd have to mess around with a Rapt V2 for a bit to be able to figure it out because it would definitely be different. Okay, so let's get back to the screw thing because it's kind of important to know. So what I've now found out from Jonas is that regardless of whether or not you are putting... whether or not you're putting like V2 plates to V3 bodies or V3 plates to V2 bodies or whatever freaking combo you want to do. That's the wrong screw. Apparently, this new screw, the one that has, the undercut little bit on there, this new screw is now going to just be better at the compression of the plate and just hold it better. And it's literally just because it's got more of that undercut on there and it can suck down further. So he has explained that he tried and tried and tried. He tried and tried and tried to find another screw that had an undercut like that was a Torx, and it doesn't exist. It simply doesn't exist. He can't find it. So it was kind of a concession he had to make going to that Phillips head. And he kept saying to me, oh, well, it's because the Phillips head doesn't look as good as a Torx head when it's in there. It's an aesthetics thing, right? And I'm kind of like, that wasn't my first thought. Like, I agree with him. It doesn't look as good, right? Like there you go. That's, and then this one will probably have come on now. Stop it. So you do have a difference. I see what he's saying. You know, the Phillips doesn't have as elegant a look because it's like this X in there or something like that. But that wasn't my first thought. My first thought was like, holy crap, if people thought that they could strip a Torx head screw, you can absolutely strip a Phillips head screw. Phillips head screws, like I'm a carpenter. I've worked in construction for, or 10 years or something like that. But it is such a strippable fucking screw. And I'll explain a little bit why. The Torx head has so many little teeth on there. It's never going to show us. Yeah, there we go. So you got all these little teeth. There's so many places for that screw to engage in there and to help you hold on to it, right? And it's a lot easier to find the right head of a Torx screw for your screw. I find not so much with Phillips. Phillips has this kind of, I'll get some other ones to show you. Phillips heads tend to like allow you to use, and I made this mistake when I was in my little fix-it kit here, and I think I even went too lower than I was supposed to. So I think I tried this one first, and I was like, oh yeah. I was like, that goes in there, and it locks. You see that? I was like, I could take it out with this, but look at all that room around the edges. Don't. No. And then I think I went up one, and I was like, okay, yeah. So this one looks like it's doing a little better. Like that looks like it's kind of, filling it up a little bit more. But even that, you can actually go one bigger. So I like landed on this one. I don't know what they're labeling this in my JIS 1. A J1. I don't really know what that means, but J1. So, but see that is in there solid. So I would recommend if you're going to be using these screws, go to the hardware store, buy a high quality one, like high quality. Take your Rapt there and play with different ones and find the one that is just like very snug in there. You want one that is not really going to move at all, and it's really snug. So that is actually one, and I was like too lower before I found that one. So, I mean, if you haven't gotten one already on Amazon, I keep saying it all the time, just go get an iFixit kit. It's just like this kit with everything. You can fix your sunglasses. It has everything for every fidget you ever wanted. You can, take apart computers or everything. It's just very, 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 very valuable. So that is the biggest problem that I see happening with this. Some questions here. Yeah, auto EDC, a grill Phillips is the aesthetic, but it's more likely to strip. Yes, absolutely it will. Jeremy joined late. Do you think that the new plates and insert design makes for a better slide stability for the Rapt compared to previous models? It feels better to me, but I also have to remind myself that I haven't had some fresh plates in a long time. But one thing that I was kind of noticing, and I don't know if I'm just making it up in my brain, but I'll put some V3 ones together, and then yeah, this is all V2. So I'm like looking, when I look through, it's hard for me to show you, but if I look through at the gap here, yeah, it's definitely.
First place.
Thanks. You're very funny.
I had to.
You're very funny.
I regret nothing.
So that's what I'm talking about here, Jeremy. The gap in the V2, in the V3 plates, I find is even more. Like there's even more of that space when you see the light coming through. And that might be that like literally that 1/1000th of an inch that Jonas is talking about in the video, where he's saying that the screw is compressing it even further a little bit. That could be what that is. And if you look at it, and I just kind of saw it and I was like, yeah, no, that is a little bit more. So is that improving slide quality? I don't know. But what it does improve is the fact that like now that we have all of these locked together and we don't ever have to worry about like the magnets coming, you know, out of a line with each other on the other sides and stuff like that, it's improved that greatly. Absolutely greatly that happens. So yes, the screw apparently is going to improve anything. It doesn't matter if, so I could go, so all of his kits will probably be coming with the new screws with the intent that you can go and use that new screw with your V2 plates on your V2 body. And I'm just going to screw this in here right now. And you're going to get a little bit more compression. It works just the same. Now, I can't really tell just by doing it. I mean, I can tell it's a little bit more sunken in and stuff like that. But Jonas is the one to know because he's the one that's machining it and getting it all perfect. And if you go watch that video again, you'll see how meticulous he is about the 3D modeling and stuff. Like he's taken every single part, considered every single where the screw goes, all the spaces and everything. So it really kind of blew my mind when I got to finally see some of that, some of his 3D modeling and stuff like that and what he's like really considering. It's great. So this is a screw that's going to make all your compression better. So that is something to note. Very, very big change. And yeah, I was practicing and trying different stuff and using the old screw with, what did I use? I did old screw. And then you could take, just show you what you can do. So you can take your new V3. Let's see if I can get this out without the magnets coming out. Almost. And you can take, put that right there. Get some V2 inserts. That's the right way. Oh. And you can use your V2 inserts and then take like your V2 foam dampeners. Do it how you used to have to do it. You go like that. I'm pretty sure this is what I tested, because I wanted to test how is that compression? How good is it? Can I just see if the old plates will work for me? And can I just take the old screw, new plates, and old everything else, and am I going to get any rattle? So I think I did that. And then I know this one doesn't have rattle, so let me just listen. It's impossible to hear it on the rattle he's talking about. And if you guys know what I'm talking about, the rattle that he's talking about, you would never hear it on mic. It's like the most subtle rattle. And it only like pisses off people that see, I'm not getting it like I would before. So this plate really is like, yeah, that's what I was testing. And that's why I was talking to Jonas and saying, hey, so what's up, man? Like I can just use the V3 plate with the regular screw. And I'm still not getting rattle. But I'm also like in machining terms, mathematically by the space, I'm still not compressing this plate as much as it could be. Here. I'm not really feeling any rattle. So that's huge. That's huge. That really says that it's the plate that's doing most of the work. And one of the big things is that we've gotten rid of that ridge. Originally, he had this ridge in here because it was meant to be able to clamp on something. He needed something to clamp onto for machining. I don't know how he came around fixing it or whatever, but he, figured out how he didn't need it. But it was getting in the way, right? It was getting in the way of making inserts one piece. And I think it was getting in the way of having that maximum compression with the screw. So getting rid of that, like you just saw, like this is a V3 plate on a V3 body with the regular screw. This is a V2 body with V2 inserts, V2 dampeners, V3 plate, and a V2 screw, and I'm still not getting any rattle. And I could get even less rattle, or the less chance of a rattle, if I went and I put it with the new Phillips head screw. So, hey Abby, how you doing? I was telling everybody how you got a cool Rapt on the way. So that's cool. It's good that Abby, I didn't have to, because like first Abby was like, do you want to open up like my Rapt and like, show everybody and review it and then send it off to me? And I was like, well, it'd be great. It's yours. You get to decide. And she was like, no, yeah, that's totally cool. Do it. I was like, thank you. Awesome. And then Jonas said, you know what? I want to send you some other stuff so you can review and stuff. So Abby got to have it shipped to her completely unwrapped, completely fresh and crisp. So that's great. So what I want to also do is I want to talk about what he was talking about with the brass inserts. Okay. So I actually haven't quite tested this yet, but I am very interested to see if I can get brass inserts working and not rattling. So the big thing about brass inserts was that what happened was their thickness tended to be very much thicker than the actual magnet, the magnet thickness. So what you would get is a magnet. Probably doing this the wrong way. Is it going to focus? You'd get the magnet kind of not really coming to the very top of the insert, and it would be ever so slightly, down, right? So you wouldn't have this foam dampener able to grab the top of the magnet. Because if you see how these old foam dampeners work, the compression kind of relies on the fact of all of the magnets being flush with the top. Because otherwise, what is this compressing? If the magnets are further down into, the insert, there's no compression points. And that's why the new ones for the Rapt Lite and this are so genius, because all of the compression points are isolated now, right? So that's all we get. We get right there, point, and it compresses every magnet right on the top. Sorry to be a negative Nelly. Love your content. You're a legend. Off to bed now. Appreciate. It's not negative, man. You got to talk about this stuff. It's good. I hadn't even thought of that because I haven't used a Rapt like that because I just personally don't like the equidistant spacing. But like I said, there you go, man. Like, it's not like they're going to work less good or anything like that. It's not like there was something wrong with it. It still works, right? So you can have it. You can have that fresh, sweet, crisp swish. Is everyone just going to do plate emojis now? Thank you, Ross. Yeah. Plate, wrap, plate. Cool. Jesus Christ. The stuff that the wife starts. So, as I was saying, this is one of the biggest improvements. This is one of the improvements I noticed with the Rapt Lite when he made these foam dampeners. I went, oh, finally. He figured out how to focus those compression points and make it right down a thing, because that was the biggest problem. I would find myself going through, I would do this. I would go and I would take V2 inserts and I would like take a magnet stick and I would go and I'd go like this, and then I would like run my finger on it. This one's actually pretty good because I can kind of sort of can just feel the top of the magnet right over top of the insert. And I go, oh, that's a good insert, because that one's just a little bit thinner than the magnet. But then if I found one where I was like, oh no, I can feel that the magnet's just a little bit down inside there, I'd be like, no, I want a different one, because I was trying to find ones where I didn't have to use any tape on top. Matthew, question, has there been any word on when the conversion kits will be available? No, he just says soon. He says he's working on it, so he's gonna get it done. I know for a fact I will be buying all the I'm not gonna buy all the conversion kits, but I'm gonna buy like at least another probably three or four of them or something like that. Hands down, I would buy more plates. It's mainly because like I'm addicted to the swish. The sweet swish is it is intoxicating, and I can't get enough of it. And I'm sitting there going like, oh, I don't want to use the ones that I have it, because like I want to use it, but I don't want to use it because I want it to be there. It's a hard battle in my brain. I'm like, oh my God, I want to just like keep it. But yeah. So he'll come out with them soon. They will come, because he's done it before from the V1 to the V2. So it'll happen. So that was a problem with the brass ones. And what happened with brass is that he said before, there's no way for him, because he gets these laser cut out of house. He would have these kind of things just cut, and they're just cut out of 1/8 thick brass material, right? But it's not always 1/8 inch thick. And in order to make it perfectly 1/8 inch thick, he'd have to literally machine it to that, or, something else, right? Would take way more time. And then you'd be spending friggin' $50 on one set of, brass inserts and stuff like that. It'd be ridiculous. So that never happened. And you just kind of had to deal with the fact that the brass stuff was like a little bit thicker in there, here and there. And it happened with the aluminum as well. So one of the improvements is the pinpoints. And another improvement is that these new ones, you see how, that's one of the things I noticed first, is that these new inserts, all the magnets, if I run my finger over top, just ever so slightly over top of the insert thickness. So it's doubly able to compress all of the magnets. And some people might be going, oh, I love crunch. And great, love crunch, take it out, right? You can even put you can even take the rubber spacers and put it on top of there still, right? If you have some of those left over from V2. Good. Do it. Play with crunch. It'll be fine. You're still going to get more crunch from V2 because they're a little bit, had a little bit more tolerance, right? These are a bit tighter, but it will still crunch. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to put in, where'd it go? There it is. I want to go and I want to try this brass thing. I want to see because I didn't have time to try it. I was thinking, oh man, I got to try that. I got to try putting brass inserts into a V3 plate, and then put the V3 dampeners on there and see how that's going. Because at the end of that YouTube video, he sort of offhandedly mentions, oh, I think this is gonna, solve the problem with the whole brass inserts always, having that problem. But he doesn't say whether or not like he's actually tested it. I think it seemed like it was more like just this theory. So I was all messed up from my finger almost getting smashed off, and was laying around on ibuprofen a lot, so I didn't get time to try it. So let's try it now. Come on, get out of there. Night, Steve. Come on. There's a very sticky magnet in that one. Very tight. Okay, let's get some other brass here. We should just have to put, yeah, this one back in. Brass was notorious. It was like you could not, I could not for the life of me get brass inserts to fully stop rattling. It was always like this tiniest little rattle. Like I've said before, it was something that you could only really hear to your ear, right? And when I was first getting into sliders, I didn't even notice that rattle. I had no idea about it. And then later when I started getting more picky, I started feeling it. So now I'm going to take the advice and use the new screws because apparently those are going to give even more compression. I'm going to switch my heads here on this. I was playing with it before and I was trying to figure out, is there more of a, like, does it turn more? And I'm going to say that maybe there was like an extra half turn, maybe, versus like if I was trying the V3 on the V2 body and I tried the regular screw and got a good full couple turns out of it. And then I tried the new Phillips head screw and I swear there was like probably an extra half turn that I was getting. So the good thing about these new plates, you remember how he was talking about the gap that you see underneath there? You feel when it's done, right? So I just want to get another close up of this. I want you guys to see how I put a screw in because I don't want you to strip these things. So it's all loose, right? You're coming in and then that's where it starts to get tight. So I put a lot of pressure. In here, and that's why this iFixit kit is so good because it's got the little spinning part on the end of the screwdriver, so you can turn this thing in your hand without having to turn there. So it pivots on there. It's absolutely so much easier to use. So you can be applying pressure and also screwing at the same time. So that's really important. Going like that. And then there it is. I feel it. That's at its end. And I don't have to go any further. I don't have to strip it. There we go. I already put that one in. Okay. So let me hear this. Let's see. Fuck! Nope. Nope, it's still there. No. No, it's still there. 100% it's still there. So he didn't test it. I did. Yeah. I'm still hearing them move around ever so much. And it's just too thick. They're too thick for it and they're not getting down into there. So yeah, I can hear it and it annoys me. It annoys me because it gets in the way of that sweet swish noise. So yeah, there you go. At least we tested that. Should we test with some aluminum inserts? And please ask more questions if I'm not doing something that you need me to do with this, but now look at that. They just stay right in there most of the time. I have had it before where it's compressed enough that it comes out, I think it happened with one over early in the stream there. But yeah, it's great. They just stay in. I love the foam dampeners so much more. Let's pop these guys in. These ones might work better. Done. Yeah, the Phillips head screw really does make me nervous for the stripping. It's even I like putting that back in, I feel like I want to turn it more. And I'm resisting, right? Like you got to be careful. You're going to have to really be careful. No, it's rattling too. It's good that we're trying this. So those dampeners are only working really for the new ones because the magnets are a little bit higher than the insert. That's very interesting. I'm glad I tried that. I'm hearing the ever so slightly kind of thing that I would always try to stop. I'm just looking at this to see. Yeah, there's just some of them. Some of them that are ever so slightly down there. So bear with me. I just want to try one more time, but I want to try with V2 dampeners. Yes, Jesse, do it. Jesse, I'll even send you a V2 to fuck with if you want. PM me later, and I'll send you one to borrow. Okay, if you want to do that and mess with the tolerances, I'll let you borrow like either this one or one of them or something, and then you can just sit there and you can get it right. Because we were talking about it before, you would need to make because like this fits in there. And he has worked it out that there's like a space above this that is accounted for within there, right? So it's accounted for the dampeners, right? So even if your TPU is holding all these magnets like perfectly, it's almost like this would have to be higher. It would have to be thicker than this to account for that extra bit. It would almost have to be, the thickness of the insert plus the thickness of the phone dampener. You got what I'm saying? Probably get what I'm saying. So it would be some playing around with that and, printing out a few different things to see which one works. But if you wanted to pioneer something like that, because you've been doing a rocking job with making all of these inserts and stuff, and people have been loving them. So I'd love to see some TPU inserts in a V2 or a V3 configuration. Put that on there. Where's my other ones? Oh, I think I put them inside. I put them in that other Rapt. Thank God I've got quite a lot of them. I don't think this is going to work either. I'm going to try, though. Jonas can watch this for research later. Felt like I got more of a screw out of that one before this time. Maybe I wasn't screwing it all the way. That's better. That's better. I wonder if I was being nervous with it before. Sorry, now I'm getting really ADHD OCD about this now. I wonder if I was being nervous about the screw. I'm sitting here talking about how I'm so nervous about stripping that thing. But I wonder if I was just being too nervous and I'm not yet used to that extra compression that plate can do. So this is good that we're trying this. I'm going to put these in one more time with the aluminum. And I'm really going to try to sink that screw into there. One more time. So that last time I was like pushing with my thumb into the plate. Really. No, that is definitely the bottom. That was 100% the bottom. We're still getting the little. Yeah, we got the little gap. Yep. Okay. Really get it in. No, that's it. There's nothing more. So weird. That weirds me out, man. Now this is rattling. Okay, well. We learned. We learned today. There we go. Yeah. Trying to think if I've gone over everything. The kits are going to be coming out. Everything is V3 now. All the new drops will be V3. So all V3 bodies, all V3 plates. Anyone that has those weird V2.1 plates, those are actually, I guess, kind of rare now. He originally, before he started making the V3 plates, he had this, he had a machining change, right? And he made some V2.1s technically. They were just like slightly thinner, kind of like the V3s and stuff. And yeah, so I guess those ones now are kind of just this rarity out there. But yeah, I am trying to make sure I've got everything here, and then we'll, I don't know, give away a slider. Give away a slider or something. I don't know. We'll give away something. We have to give away something, right? Yeah, we did that. We did that. Anyone have any questions? Have I not covered something? Are you like, what the fuck's going on or anything like that? Make them clap. What do you mean, Hunter? Make them clap? Make them clap. Okay. Yeah. So. Ooh. It's that. My pre-sus ritual? Usually I'm working. I'm actually working every single time. My pre-sus ritual is building something and then sitting down at lunch and going, did I win? Actually, you know, last time I won, it was literally I'm working and I just keep like ding, 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 ding on my phone. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And it was all you guys PMing me going, hey, you won, man, you won. And I'm like, I'm like down in a pit, sawing a board, trying to install some kind of thing, like it's raining or something like that. It's ding, 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 ding. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? You guys are all telling me I won. So yeah, there you go. There's my pre-sus ritual. Is the V3 a noticeable difference from the V2? You're never gonna know. Like he said before, you're not gonna know. What do I do here to get you a little? So this one is. Well, I guess it'd be better if I gave you like the footprint's exactly the same. The magnet layout's exactly the same. You know, this is an SGI and this is an SSS model. And that's just talking about, you know, the body top kind of thing, which I said before are all interchangeable with all of the plates, right? Doesn't matter. The plates, I don't know. Other than the screw, you're not really going to notice much of a difference. Otherwise, these ones have been used more and the wear pattern is there. But otherwise, you will not notice any difference except for, like he was saying in the video, you have got a little bit more of a kind of chamfer around there. This one, no. All right. And then V2 plates, of course, have that ridge on the inside. So on the inwardly, very, very easy to tell which ones they are. Outwardly and function-wise, no. It's all the same. It's all the same stuff because that stuff works. The process of watching this, I've lost my wrap. What? No whiskey? How did you lose your wrap? Go find it. Is it in the couch? Good Lord. It's probably in the couch. If you're sitting on a couch, then, you know, it's probably magnetized to your springs or something like that. They fall down inside of chairs and they magnetize to the metal parts of furniture.
Check your fridge. I put my glasses in there sometimes and forget.
Bunny says check your fridge because she puts her glasses in the fridge. But another thing about fridge stuff, I heard a story one time where someone had lost their slider for ages. They either lost it or they knew where it was, but they were too lazy to get it because they dropped it and half of it went sliding under their fridge, magnetized up underneath it. And it literally involved them trying to get this half of that back. You had to take all this shit out of the fridge. Had to get two guys over to help pull it out, lift it up. Don't drop it. I'm going under the fucking fridge now to get my thing. And what? Why am I screaming? Because I'm excited about the story. I got a limiter on. It doesn't. They can't hear. Okay, whatever. Yeah. So that was kind of a funny story I heard. Pam, do you think the Rapt light still a good idea for first Rapt? I still love the Rapt light. The Rapt light is I don't want to toot Jesse's horn here too hard, but especially since I got these new TPU inserts, it's improved my use of it, how I use it. Still drop it because I use my left hand. The sound is different. It's got more of a. Let's listen to it. The Rapt light really slaps. It really, really slaps. It's got a haptic satisfaction. It's just because the plates are different, right? You got smooth plates because they're pressed. So it's a different feel with the plates, different feel with the inserts. And I'll never not have my Rapt light, especially the titanium one. The titanium one's the best, in my opinion, because I like my sliders light. I like them to be, usually below 60 grams, kind of making a concession with the bronze one. Bronze, I think, comes in at around 70 with plastic inserts. So I'm a big plastic insert fan. I never got any of the aluminum or brass inserts for the light because when I first got the light, it was about the same weight as this guy. And I didn't want it any heavier. I wanted it about 10 grams lighter. So I was really, really happy when the titanium one came out because it did. It got it about 10 grams lighter for me. So I'll always have a light. I think it's probably for what you get for, what is it, like 140 bucks for a titanium? It's like 150 bucks, right? For what you get for like the functionality and the quality and stuff, for something that you can just take around and like, you know, give to your nephew and be like, here, play with it. I don't care. Drop it, whatever. Right. You can't beat that. I don't think you can't beat it for like a beater Rapt. And you can't beat the V3 for just like the best slider, in my opinion. I've been so addicted to this one. It's the haptics. It's that swish. I'm so into it. It's this machine finish. Like, it's so crisp, so clean. It's just perfect. He's taken everything from the Rapt light that he learned that was good, integrated it into this. We're moving forward. It's great. It's great. So the only flaw that I have found during this is that we're still rattling with the aluminum and the brass. I told Jonas, I said, I'm trying to find holes. And he said, by all means, poke holes, find stuff for me. So there you go. There you go, Jonas. That's what we found during this live, is that we're still rattling with aluminum and brass. But yeah, we are 100% rattle free with the new dampeners and the new inserts in the V3, which is a big improvement. Because I love plastic inserts. I really do. I love the lightness of it. And it's great. Rapt light is great. When you know you're going somewhere, you may drop it. Yes. Yeah, like hiking and stuff. But that being said, please do still be careful with your plates, with your Rapt light. Like the other Rapt light I had, I sold it as this big awesome kit. I had all the inserts and like all these extra inserts from other makers and stuff like that. And I sold it to someone for a really good price. But those plates, like I put them through the ringer for the live, right? When I opened it up and then I did the like hotspot removal thing and stuff. And they took a beating and they will get scratchy and stuff, right? But the cool thing is that I was able to just like polish sand them back to a point where they worked, and then you just keep using it. You just use it, and they polish themselves. They really do. Like this, I haven't done anything except use it, and you get that polished rim going all the way around there. So still do be careful with your Rapt plates. Like any slide plate for any slider, you want to be a bit careful, right? It's its main function, right? You know, so if you do drop it while you're hiking, or if your dog eats it, like Lorraine's apparently has, you really do want to clean it off, you know, and make sure that, you know, you're all debris free. So silly putty, wall tack, something like that. That's the thing that'll get it off 100%. Cedric, are there makers that make plastic inserts with smaller magnets? I run a hybrid setup with a Thai V2. I like how light it is, but the magnets are a little strong for me because of how lightweight it is. So you have two options there, Cedric. You could source magnets that are the same size as like Jonas's. So when you have a strong one, you're dealing with 1/4 inch diameter by 1/8 inch thick. And when you're dealing with he calls them the mediums, you're dealing with 3/16 diameter by 1/8 inch thick. Again, all of his ones are N52. So you could try to source the same size magnets in a different strength. I would suggest like N45 or do like N35s in the small ones and then keep the N52s in the corners for laddering and keeping it together. So some people do that kind of thing. I have found it difficult to source actual imperial magnets. Most magnets come in and I was just talking to another guy about this recently. So most magnets come, can you tell the difference? Which ones are which, right? So the 5 on the right, those are Rapt magnets. And all the other ones over there, those are Magnus magnets. Magnus is 6 mil by 3 mil. And 6 mil does not convert to 1/4. 1/4 in millimeters is about 6.35 millimeters. So you see that tiny, tiny little difference. So most magnets kind of, when I buy them online, they come in metric. I don't know where Jonas gets his, but imperial magnets are kind of harder to find, right? So you would need to find the imperial ones. Do they do them in the right size, K&J? Because I thought they were all metric, but it would be good to know if they are. And then there was another one. It was a JC magnets. They're great, but they do all strong. They do all N52s. I don't think you can get anything that's not N52 there. Oh, Abby, it's in Canada. Yeah. No, it's not. No, California, you mean. Yeah. I just saw Clear Customs in LA. That's great. And yeah, someone's talking about Otter EDC. Yeah, like you could talk to someone like Jesse and see if he wants to make you a custom sort of thing, right? I don't know if you'll be willing to do something like that, but it would be best to, if you're going to do something custom, there you go. So Jesse knows where to get them from. So I would contact someone like Jesse from Otter EDC there. Yeah, I don't know if Jesse wants to like put his email or something like that, but that's up to him if he wants people contacting him. Yes, it was you, Scarfo. Yeah, I knew. I didn't want to mention you right off the bat unless you wanted to be mentioned. But yes, Scarfo was having a problem with his, and he was freaking out. He was saying, "This is just fucked. It's fucked. It's all fucked up, and I can't take it, and something's wrong with it." And then he mentioned offhandedly, I mean, I'm mixing up my magnets and my Rapt magnets. That can't be it. And I was like, ooh, yes, it is. So there you go. So then he fixed it. Okay, good, Arnie. This is good. What were the measurements? And you recommend N45 mini feet? The measurements are, so for the strong ones, 1/4 inch diameter in imperial by 1/8 inch. They're both 1/8 inch thick. The difference is that the strong ones are 1/4 inch diameter. And then the medium ones are 3/16 diameter. I can write that down if you want. Okay, good. You guys know all this stuff. It's great. I don't really look for much magnets. I mean, I have a bunch up here and stuff, so that's great. And then I find most magnet sites kind of kick Canadians in the ass because JC magnets, yeah, it usually ends up that when you try to order magnets, they're all like from the States. And then you're there, you're like, great, cool, order the magnets. And then they like insist that you use FedEx or DHL. And you're trying to buy $12 in magnets, and they're like, and the shipping will be $40. And I'm like, no, I'm out. So I have in the past used like a proxy and had some of you guys like grab me some, but lately I just don't need them anymore. So yeah, that's what I would do. I'd work with another guy like Jesse to do it. As far as I know, Jesse's like one of the only guys that's actually making off-market inserts for the light and for other things. Because as far as I know, Anthony Yao kind of got out of it, and Timothy got out of it as well. Doesn't surprise me. It's probably a lot of little extra things to do, right, for not tons of money. But as far as I know, Jesse has already been running a 3D printing business for other things. So he's just kind of tacking on to what he's already been doing. And they are all N52. All Rapt magnets are N52 strength. All of them. So you would be just looking for the same size in a different strength. And yeah, I think they go down in, they don't go down, they go down in 2s maybe, but all I ever see is like N52, I think N48, N45. And I hear a lot of people doing the N35 thing in the middle. They find that really helps because you still have the strength of the N52s in your corner, so you can be, laddering really hard and it's not flying off. But then all those middle ones being N35, you're getting a lot easier on the slide. And I understand what you're saying. Like I have a buddy that messed up his hands, and every time I give him a Rapt, like I gave him the light last time we had a beer, and I was like, "Oh, buddy, here's the new one. Like it's pretty cool, huh?" And he slides it 2 times, and he's like, It's real stiff, huh? And I thought he was talking about the plates. And I was like, what are you talking about? My plates are perfect. They're great. And he's like, oh no, like the magnets are really strong. And I was like, oh, right. Like your hands are just like, they're just fucked. So I gotta like, one day I've got to like load up a Rapt with like all medium magnets in there and see if that's good enough for him. So yeah, thanks guys. This is great. Let's give away something. What are we gonna give away? Feeling generous today. I'm feeling generous. Ooh. Oh. You guys want a good one? I'll give you a good one. You want a good one? Oh, you guys are gonna like this. What about what if we gave away a boomstick by Vibe EDC? What about a boomstick? You want a boomstick? You seen these before? You seen this before? Listen to this shit. What do you think? I hope you don't have roommates because they're going to fucking hate you. I can't use this because Bunny's just too loud. I love it, but I had my fun with it and I experienced it and I'd love to pass it on to you guys. So once again, let's put our ins in. If you remember the Nerd Herd, you have to be on YouTube because I can see your little star. If you were not a member, you can still sign up. You can go to my YouTube and you can become a Nerd Herd member and then you get a little star beside your name and then you get 2 ins. Who do we have ins for? We had people's pets or something. So one of them's going to be, because we got toe beans from, I should text Bunny and find out which toe beans are we doing. So Bunny is a member of the Nerd Herd, my wife, but she doesn't do her ins. So she's saying that she's now giving her ins to people's pets. So yeah. So if, we'll see if she wants to do that right now. I don't know. Yeah, you guys go ahead. Cool. Yeah, you guys want to fucking. I gotta keep track of you guys here. Okay. Yeah, Catherine, it is amazing. It's so haptic and crazy. But it's so loud. Like the maker Emil, he warned me. He said you can't really use it around other people, and it's very annoying for other people. But it is fucking amazing to use on your own. It is absolutely crazy good. Okay. Lorraine, you'll find your Rapt. It's somewhere. I hope you find it. Okay. I don't know if we're doing any toe beans. I don't know where she went. Maybe she went somewhere else. Okay. Let me start getting you guys. Where did we start here? We started with Greg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, apparently any feet pick, Scarfo, apparently. You already sent me some. Just bear with me here. I'm going to go through and number all you guys. Oh, I just got a message from Bunny. So apparently Scarfo is getting one for feet. And then someone else. Lorraine says Izzy. So we'll do Izzy. No links, you don't get 3 ins. Bunny decides what they're doing. So we already decided who they're going to be. It's going to be Scarfo's feet pick. He has pets too. Can't remember his pets' names. You sent a feet pick today, Pam? Yeah, but I think Kermit wasn't in on last week. So we'll wait. Airedale. Oh, I know you will, Scarfo. Bunny says Scarfo and Izzy. You got to write that, Bunny, so I have it numbered. You got to write in Scarfo, in Izzy. Okay. It's not bonus picks. It's just if you don't have pets, you can send pictures of your actual feet. Okay. Looks like this is starting to come to a close here. Okay, cool. All right. Wow. A big turnout for this. I got 36 people that want this boomstick. Okay. I'm going to go over to the legendary random.org. Is it really random? Who knows? Okay. The legendary random.org. So we have, what was it again? 36 boom stickers. 36 was 36. So boom has 4 letters. So we'll do on the 4th one. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 15. 15 was scrolling up. Lorraine Grant, you were 15. You won, Lorraine. Not even with your Izzy. You just won with your first in. Lorraine Grant, number 15. Congratulations, Lorraine. Congratulations. You got a boomstick. Oh, you are going to piss some people off in Scotland with this. Holy shit. Listen to this again, guys. Listen to this, guys. So fucked up. So before I go, I will just show Lorraine here and all you really quick little things. So you can take this out. You don't have to have that. That's kind of held a little bit by the magnets in there when it's in there. So it doesn't really fall out or anything. You can take it out very easily. You can then, you gotta be careful. You can take this out and you kind of gotta hold those magnets there because they will try to jump. they are opposing sides with them, right? So you can take one of these stacks out and put it there, and then you can put it in, and then you can use it like this, and it's just a little bit less resistance. Okay. It's kind of too easy, I think. Yeah, I'm not really into it as much like that, but I wanted to show you that. It's just one of those little things you can do with it. And then you just got to be careful to put it in back the right way. I'll put it back in for you here. It's a little finicky. My recommendation is that if you like it like that, I would just leave it. Leave it. Just leave it and don't do anything with it. Bunny. Links basically have 2 ends and I don't use them. Yeah, okay. Give them to random nerd members. Yeah, so you can send all your feet pics, your toe beans of pets to Zachary the Butcher at gmail.com, or if you don't have pets, you can send your apparently actual feet pics. So yeah. Abby, I can't remember if I showed her. I will show her though. I don't know if I did. I think I got distracted. I'll show her right after this. I promise. Okay. Yeah. Wow, this is fun, guys. V3 stuff. Yeah. So thanks, everyone, and I hope this really answered a lot of questions. Yay, Lorraine, for winning a boomstick. Holy fuck. That's a good one. That's a good one. Can't get these. So that's pretty cool. All the more reason to sign up for Nerd Herd and all the more reason to be here for these, because I only do these giveaways really just in the live, right? I hardly do giveaways outside of it. Hardly anymore. Don't have time. So yeah, good place to get some nice fidgets. So thanks for playing around the V3 with everyone. Thanks for exploring it. I hope I covered everything. Pretty sure I did. I'm glad that we found some little mistakes, I guess, with the old stuff, you know, being compatible. Maybe it'll get fixed. Maybe it won't. I don't know. I still think this is like the best slider out there right now. It is so worth, so worth. Just enter the susses. Keep entering the susses over and over and over again. Just do it every single time. I just do it every single time. And I don't even know if I want them or if I'm going to, you know, sell them to a friend kind of thing, right? All better chances of, you know, someone getting it and stuff. And I just enter them all. I enter them all, and you should all enter them all because you never know when you're going to win. You know, it can always come around and work for your benefit. So keep doing it. Keep entering. This is great. Thank you, Jonas, for making this. And you guys are all freaking nerds. And yeah, cutting the feed.